Hey everyone, welcome to That's Good Denver. I'm your host, Chris Romeo, and today I'll be breaking down the Broncos, of course, disappointing Week 1 loss against the Las Vegas Raiders. Broncos lose 17-16 Week 1 to the Vegas Raiders, a game I did not expect us to lose, but haven't been able to beat the Raiders since 2019, so yeah, it's been a while. Um, so yeah, um, Game starts off, quick breakdown. Raiders scored an opening drive touchdown. Then the Broncos score an opening drive touchdown. Thing was, Will Lutz missed an extra point. Um, and then Raiders kick a field goal. Will Lutz, by the way, for the Broncos, his debut as a kicker pretty much cost the Broncos the game with his extra point, missed field goal. Raiders take a 10-6 lead off a Daniel Carlson field goal. Then the Broncos score at the end of halftime to go up 13-10. Broncos tack on a field goal in the third quarter, and then the Raiders score a touchdown to Jacoby Myers, who had a huge day, to win it 17-16 as they were able to run out the clock and get some first downs at the end. So yeah, disappointing Week 1 loss, and the offense for the Broncos played very well in the first half. I thought their offense was fluent. Russell Wilson looked good, 2 touchdown passes, both of them on good throws in the end zone to Courtland Sutton and Humphrey. And yeah, our defense was fine, but wasn't clutch enough down the stretch. And our offense was the same Broncos offense that I saw all last year in the second half. Just short dump offs, not getting many yards, and just not really being as effective in the second half. So yeah, disappointing Week 1 loss, and hopefully the Broncos can bounce back against Washington next week. But to break it down, the game starts off with an onside kick. Sean Payton, his debut, coming up with an onside kick. That's how he won the Super Bowl against with the Saints against the Indianapolis Colts. Had an onside kick to start the second half. They dominated the second half. But anyway, in this game, onside kick gets an illegal touching. Broncos did recover it, but it was an illegal touching on Denver. So Vegas got the ball to start the game at the Denver 40. Raiders get a third down conversion, get a conversion on 4th and 1 to Davante Adams. And then on 3rd and goal, Jimmy Garoppolo finds Jacoby Myers for the game-opening touchdown. Raiders go up 7-0. Broncos get their first possession of the game. On a 3rd down, Russell Wilson finds Brandon Johnson for a first down. Then Russell Wilson finds Brandon Johnson again and Courtland Sutton as they get it down to the Las Vegas 18. Ate a lot of time up in the quarter. The Broncos did it on 3rd and goal. Wilson rolls to his right and finds Humphrey for a 3-yard touchdown pass. Broncos are now down 7-6. Broncos score an opening drive touchdown to start the year. I can't remember the last time the Broncos scored an opening drive touchdown in the last 7 years as a Broncos fan. Then Will Lutz misses the extra point that would essentially cost the Broncos the game. Broncos still trail 7-6. Raiders on their next drive it down the field a little bit again. Garoppolo finds Davante Adams, as Patrick Surtain had a great day covering Davante Adams. He only had 2 receptions for 48 yards. Raiders drive it down the field, and then their drive stalls in the red zone as Daniel Carlson finishes it off for them to give Vegas some breathing room. The Raiders lead it 10-6. Broncos punt, then the Raiders finally punt. Broncos get the ball back with 4 minutes left in the half. Russell Wilson gets hot, marches the ball down the field, finds Courtland Sutton and Marvin Mims. Then on 3rd and goal, again, Russell Wilson from the 5-yard line finds Courtland Sutton in the back of the end zone as he rolls to his right, finds Courtland Sutton back of the end zone for a 5-yard touchdown pass. Broncos go up 13-10 going into halftime. Looking pretty good for Denver at this point. Then in the second half, Broncos start off with the ball. They march it down the field again. Russell Wilson finds receivers on dump-offs and short yardage, marches it down the field thoroughly, but then drive stalls around the 30-yard line, and Will Lutz misses a field goal. That would have put the Broncos up 16-10, but still 13-10 thanks to the Will Lutz missed field goal. It was 50 yards away. Raiders start to drive the ball down the field. Garoppolo gets comfortable again, hits some passes. Garoppolo had a great day, by the way, 20 of 26 at the end of the day. Garoppolo finds Davante Adams. Then On second and goal, Raiders have it all the way down to the Broncos' 2-yard line. Garoppolo drops back, pass gets tipped up in the air and intercepted by Kareem Jackson. On the interception, Broncos hold the Raiders out of the end zone, hold them to 0 points in the red zone. Broncos get at their own 25. Then that takes to the fourth quarter. Broncos driving the ball down the field, hitting Javonte Williams on short pass. Javonte Williams also getting a couple of good rushes, same as Pierney, the second string running back we got from the Bengals. Pierney had some good runs. Broncos drive it down the field, but their drive stalls. Will Lutz hits the field goal this time. Broncos lead 16-10 when the Broncos really should have been up 20-10 at this point if Will Lutz makes that other extra point and other field goal. Broncos lead 16-10. Raiders get the ball. They drive it down the field. Hits Jacoby Myers. Garoppolo did, and then with 6 minutes left, second and goal, Garoppolo finds Jacoby Myers on the slant for a 5-yard touchdown pass. Raiders tie at 16, then the Raiders go up 17-16. Broncos ball start at the 25. They go 3 and out on a 3rd and 11. Russell Wilson dumps it off to Hireman as he had no one else open. 4th and 3. Broncos punt here, which I really think they should have went for it on 4th and 3. Sean Payton not going for it, and the Broncos not going up for it eventually cost them the game because time was getting low on them. Raiders on 3rd and 7. Garoppolo finds the receiver, but Kareem Jackson hits him really hard for a yard short. I didn't think it was a penalty looking at it live, but I guess Kareem Jackson hit him with his head. Automatic first down for Las Vegas. I think Kareem Jackson had a good hit, but then on 3rd and 7, last chance for the Broncos to get a stop and get the ball back. Garoppolo has a bunch of time and runs it for a first down. Like I said, defense was not clutch down the stretch, and that's how the Raiders ran out the clock and beat the Broncos 17-16. A couple reasons why the loss is disappointing. For one, Broncos have a lot of potential going into this year. I'm not saying they can't have a good season, but losing to the Raiders week 1 is not how you want to start. And for two, the Chiefs and the Chargers both lost this week. So that means the Broncos would be in first place if they would have won this game. And possibly if Will Lutz makes his field goals and extra point, we would be in first place at 1-0. But we're 0-1, and hopefully the Broncos can bounce back and beat Washington Commanders next week. Perfect opportunity to bounce back, but who knows anymore with the Broncos. They're just not that good anymore, and not looking. We've traded a lot to get Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, and hasn't worked out so well. But maybe as the season goes on, maybe it'll get better. But that's a breakdown of the Raiders beating the Broncos 17-16. Jimmy Garoppolo went 20 for 26 on the day with 2 touchdown passes. Russell Wilson statistically had a good game, 27-34, 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Statistically, it was a very good day for Russell Wilson, but the reason why the offense didn't score more points is because too many dump offs and too many runs, and offense would have scored a few more points if Will Lutz makes his field goal and extra point, but he needs to learn from it. But that's it, everybody. Tough loss for the Broncos week 1 against the Raiders, but let's bounce back next week. And even if the Broncos suck this year, we got the Denver Nuggets, who are the reigning NBA champions, and the Colorado Avalanche, who should be really good next year, even though Landon Stock will be out for the season. But the Avalanche and Nuggets will be good. Maybe I should get a good job at Ball Arena when I'm done with college. Maybe I should get a job at Ball Arena, the home of the Nuggets and Avalanche. That would be a really good job because both the Nuggets and Avalanche are good. I'd much rather work at Ball Arena than Empower Field. But I'll stop rambling so you guys can watch this. And tough loss for the Broncos week 1. They're 0-1, but I will hit you guys up with some week 2 predictions and a Broncos week 2 recap after the Commanders game. But that's it, everyone. I'm Chris Romeo, and that's good Denver. Go Broncos and go Nuggets.